Welcome to the SVG-TV News for Friday, July 25th. I'm Khalil Cato with tonight's details. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves took over as chairman of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's Monetary Council today from outgoing chairman St. Lucia's Dr. Kenny Anthony. He assumed official duties this morning at the opening of the Monetary Council meeting, which was held at the Buckermans Bay Resort. It was, however, noted by the governor of the ECCB, Sir Dwight Venner, that Dr. Gonsalves' chairmanship comes during a time when that should be during one of the more financially challenging times.
Last 5 years, with the onset of the global crisis, the role of the council and its workload has been, to say the least, a very stressful one. This has been especially so for the serving chairman. During this period, we have experienced a significant decline in economic growth, with 3 consecutive years of negative growth, increases in the unemployment rate, and a drop in government revenues, and an increase in debt. During the period, the ECCB has also had to intervene for commercial banks, and the Monetary Council has had to step into a regulatory vacuum to treat with the issues posed by the demise of CLICO and BICO.
Sir Dwight further explains that Dr. Anthony, the outgoing chairman, brought the member states through safely by providing wise counsel and a deep understanding of the circumstances under which the member states operate. Sir Dwight adds that he anticipates the same will be under the new chairman.
We look forward to the leadership of Dr. Gonsalves, an experienced and committed leader, whose role I anticipate will be to gather the troops together and to launch the resurgence of our economies and financial systems along the path to sustained growth and development.
And in accepting his new post, Prime Minister Dr. Gonsalves pledges to take his responsibilities very seriously.
And to help my colleagues, the governor and his team, to build upon what we have already so assiduously constructed.
Dr. Gonsalves also commended outgoing chairman Dr. Kenny Anthony and the rest of the central bank for maintaining financial stability throughout these very challenging times.
The work has been extraordinary over the past year, and I want to thank all concerned for their immense effort. I want to thank the people of the Currency Union for focusing on hard, smart, productive work in the main, and to have assisted all of us in seeing some light at the end of the tunnel as we come out from a difficult bundle of challenges brought on by the financial meltdown of September 2008, which meltdown metamorphosed into a generalized economic crisis.
Meanwhile, Dr. Gonsalves admits that he accepts the chairmanship at a period which still remains challenging to the ministers of finance and member states. He explains that the economic recovery for most was still expected to be weak to moderate, uncertain and uneven. However, he outlined some of his plans during his one-year tenure, which include continuing to address the main issues affecting member states as it relates to financial stability.
During my tenure as chairman of the Monetary Council, the bank will continue to address the main policy issues confronting the member countries. What are these? The main ones: financial stability, fiscal and debt sustainability, and growth and competitiveness. I must emphasize that financial stability would remain paramount and would continue to be addressed using the strategy for strengthening the resilience of the financial sector, which was approved by the Monetary Council. Because if we don't maintain the financial stability, we would weaken immensely all the other things which we are trying to do. So that is, in a sense, the lodestar. In addressing the immediate challenges in the banking sector, The focus would be on the restructuring and recapitalization of the banking system. And under my chairmanship, the exercise to measure the capital requirements of the commercial banks would be completed. This includes stress testing, credit portfolio reviews, appraisals of collateral, and audit reviews.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines will receive a coastal cleanup in the month of September in commemoration of International Coastal Cleanup Day. Public Relations Officer at the Central Water and Sewerage Authority, Joan Ryan, says this year the CWSA will spearhead the organization of the event, which she describes as a very important one.
It acts not only as a means of getting our beaches clean, but also it is an education and awareness in its own self. Persons see that we're doing work, and they too want to change attitude, hopefully, and be a part of the process. Over the years, we have had some successful cleanups. We have had volunteers of over 500 persons, 300, 200, and so on. And this year, 2014, we are hoping that communities, particularly communities along the coast, would become involved in International Coastal Cleanup. The CWSA would host a meeting on the 6th of August at the CWSA New Montrose compound to have a discussion with relevant entities about what we are expecting to see happening, how they can be a part of this whole process. The practice of recycling for a cleaner and healthier environment is what manager Mary Jocelyn at the All Islands Recycling Company in Camden Park is trying to get Vincentians into. Recycling is considered a major exercise in many countries across the world, and SVG is no stranger to this practice. Kristen John Dean recently visited the All Islands Recycling Company and tells us more about its objectives and operations.
Tons and tons of plastic bottles and aluminum cans stored in the All Islands Recycling Factory show the concept of what manager Mary Jocelyn is trying to achieve in SVG, a clean country through recycling. Jocelyn says All Islands Recycling is the first of its kind in SVG, adding that daily they purchase aluminum beverage cans and plastic beverage bottles from the public. Jocelyn notes that they also have collection points where these recycling materials can be delivered. She says the material goes through a process and is exported.
We run a program in the schools in Kingstown where we've put in blue garbage bins, I should say recycle bins. I don't know if you have ever noticed. There's some at the upper grammar school, there's some, all the schools in Kingston, the secondary schools and the primary schools, I think except for the girls' high school, take part. What we do, we encourage the principal and the headmistress and the headmasters to get the children to get in the concept of placing the bottle and the can in a specific bin and to place the garbage in a different bin. That way, we feel that adults are already set in their ways, but if you could train the child to do better, the child would take that concept home.
Jocelyn further explained the process after collecting the aluminum beverage cans and plastic bottles.
After we've collected the bottles, there's a process. We have a machine, as you see over there, and there's a process which we shred the bottles. The bits, they come out as small as cornflakes, and they are collected into bags, and we ship them abroad. Now, we also buy aluminum cans, as I said before, and the cans are shredded, separated from the bottles, placed in separate bags. Now the bags are then shipped abroad. They could reach as far as China. You never know. But what happens is that when they are purchased abroad, they go through a process where they are melted, they are cleaned, and the residual material that is left is pure plastic.
She says persons should be encouraged to recycle as it also creates income for them.
We would pay 50 cents a kilogram for that dirty bottle. Okay. Now, if you bring it, but you clean it, that is, you take off the cover, you take off the label, you take off the ring, but you didn't sort it according to brand. That is Buster by itself, Mountain Dew by itself, whatever. Then
we would pay you $3.55 because we sort it into brands when it gets to the factory, so we have to pay the guys to do that. But if you bring it sort clean, that is the label off, the ring off, the cover off, we pay you $4.80 a kilogram. So it's up to you to try to get the best price possible. And a lot of our customers do bring them clean, as you would notice.
Jocelyn says another important reason Vincentians should get into the habit of recycling is to help to keep the country clean. All Islands Recycling Company commenced operations in SVG in 2012. Kristen John Dean reporting for SVG-TV News.
When we return to the evening news, we have a look at some of the produce of beneficiaries under the Farmers Support Company. That story and more when that local story and more when SVG-TV News continues. Welcome back. Farmers who have received funding under the recently launched Farmers Support Company had some of their produce on display today at the Ministry of Agriculture. Charlene Garrick, the manager of the company, told SVG-TV News that the showcase was aimed at linking farmers with a market for their produce. The Farmers Support Company was set up to provide financial assistance to farmers. However, Garrick says that some farmers expressed that they had found it difficult in finding markets for their produce.
There are some produce that we would have gotten from farmers that would have benefited from the service that we offer, our loan program. Also, we're doing a barbecue today where persons can come and indulge themselves in what we have to offer. The ingredients would have come from the farmers, which are clients of the Farmers Support Company. And what we basically did was to take the ingredients or the inputs from farmers, and we provided several dishes from local produce, both for food and juice, that we will have on sale at a reasonable price. Also, we have with us some farmers that has come along today to see what is going on and to partake with what we're having, and we are expecting that our marketers will be here as well. What we want to do is to have the farmers meet with marketers so that marketers have the opportunity to meet the farmers firsthand, so that whatever produce they want, so long as the farmers are able to supply in quantity, then they're able to do so.
The manager of the Farmers Support Company further notes that teams will soon be visiting the farms of farmers who have already benefited from the credit facility and provide them with an opportunity to share what challenges are now being faced.
This weekend we will also be going out to the farmers in the District 8, that's from Barrow Hill up to all the way up to Fancy. We'll be doing assessments as well as meeting with the farmers to see what has been going on since they would have benefited from the loan. During the week we're seeking to go down on the leeward side as well to talk with farmers, visit farmers who would have benefited, and to see exactly what's going on. Seeing that the rainy season is on, we know that production is definitely going to be increasing, and this is what they've been looking for. And on the weekend, next weekend, we will be going down to Union Island to have town hall meetings as well as assessment with farmers and to meet with marketers as well.
Meanwhile, with the Farmers Support Company in operation for several months now, some of the applicants are expressing how they have benefited from the initiative. Stephen Watson and Veronica McDowell Brown, two of the successful applicants, expressed their gratitude to the credit facility.
I think it's a very good idea. The farmers loan, 2% interest. I think it's very good, and I've taken advantage of that. I'll encourage other farmers as well to come on board and take the opportunity.
I want to thank God for the farmer support fund that they have bring on in stream to lend us some money to help us to produce our goods, because we need help. Because from the hurricane to joy, from joy to another joy again, and we want to see if we could be successful in whatever we do. We borrow the money to do that. God will bless us more, that we could produce more in the land.
Last evening, 10 ladies graduated from yet another adult and continuing education division sewing class. The course was held under the theme, "You are never too old to set another goal or dream." Speaking at the graduation ceremony, which was held at the Redemption Sharps Community Center, Zonal Coordinator Leroy Rock says the course got underway on April 1st, and he's proud to see the different talents which were brought to life over the period.
We are now trying to build the image of Sharps. And we from the adult education, as Zonal Coordinator, I will make sure as much as resources is available in terms of financial, we will make sure we have other programs. I know persons are calling for other programs. And it was like 2-3 years ago, I remember Naomi, better known as me, Saunders, which is Naomi Saunders, indicate that she wants that we must bring up garment construction soon. And we have indicated to other persons that at the time we wasn't able to bring it because of the resources. We were lack in terms of lack, because we also had other areas. Because we did another course up in Billy, we did one up in Doris Mackey, that's up in Keene Hall. And this is our third one for the year. Okay? So I want to thank the director and Mr. King, who's program officer, for allowing this program, because they're sponsor of this program.
The most outstanding student, Suzette Hines, says she is proud of not only herself, but also of her colleagues who all demonstrated their commitment throughout the course.
And this evening I hope and trust that all of us that who did the course that will not allow this to go at rest, that we may continue to grow, that further down the line that we can hear some of us have our own business, have our own clothing line. And I just want to thank Mrs. Mary Jane for her effort that she put into all of us, because our class was really from 4 to 6, and come on now, all after 9 she was here with us because she wanted to see something good come out of us. And this evening I know that she is very much proud of all the work that has done, and I guess even all the well-wishers here this evening is proud to see the work of our hands.
27-year-old laborer Romano Marshall of Sion Hill has been slapped with 2 separate charges of robbery. He's accused of being armed with a cutlass at Richmond Hill in Kingstown and depriving Sasha Frederick of Richland Park of 1 tablet, a cell phone, and $35 cash, totaling $1,635. He is also accused of robbing Sherwin Richards of Old Montrose of a cell phone valued at $800 at Richmond Hill on July 13th. Reports are that on the date in question, both complainants, who shared a common relationship, were standing at the bus stop at Richmond Hill when Marshall approached them with a cutlass and demanded the tablet, cell phone, and cash, and after taking the items, fled the scene. Marshall was escorted to the Serious Offences Court on Wednesday to answer to the charges and was allowed to plea as they were laid. The police prosecutor had no objection to his bail, which was allowed in the sum of $15,000 with 1 surety. He was ordered not to have any contact with the complainants and to report to the Central Police Station every Tuesday between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. until October 20th, when a date will be set for his preliminary inquiry at the Serious Offences Court. Cohen Sampson, a 28-year-old fisherman of Petit Bordel, was busted by police for possession of marijuana. He was reportedly intercepted with 12 pounds of the drug at the Petit Bordel public road on Wednesday, while the law enforcement officers were on their routine mobile patrol. Sampson appeared at the Serious Offences Court yesterday before Magistrate Zoila Ellis Brown and pleaded not guilty to the offense. There was no objection to his bail, which was allowed in the sum of $15,000 with 1 surety. Sampson was also ordered to report to the Chateaubriand Police Station every Friday between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. until October 14th, when the matter is expected to be heard at the Serious Offences Court.